Evolution.
You look a bit wet, Tony.
Hey? Yeah. It splashed, it got me. Yeah. A bit of an accident there. A bit of a fight with the hose pipe. Hello. Well, today I'm going to discuss a slight problem that's been getting worse and worse. What it is, occasionally our water pump would just go off for no reason whatsoever. Just a blip, a second or so, and then it's fine. Now, first started noticing it probably 6 months ago. It would come on maybe once, twice a day when we were camping. No big deal. But the last time we were away, it started to come on. It got worse and worse from sort of every 30 minutes to every 10 minutes or so. So it's bugging me a bit. Now, the first thing you think, well, you've got a leak somewhere. You've got a water leak. Well, I've looked everywhere and I'm almost 100% sure there's no water leak whatsoever. Okay. The other thing is, some people say it's a blocked filter. I've had the filter out. It's clean as a whistle. The odd little bits of grass, but nothing untoward. The other thing that I've read on different forums is the water heater wants descaling. You can get limescale deposits in the water heater drain down valve, okay, which is this yellow handle here. When I open the drain valve, of course, the pump operates, which is perfectly normal because it's losing pressure. So when you're winterizing your van, this is the way to get all your water out of the water heater. They do say to operate the drain down valve a couple of times to try and remove deposits from the seat of the valve. So it could be that. The pressure switch, I believe, is incorporated in the pump itself and is non-adjustable. And the cut-out pressure, according to the label, is 2 bars or 30 psi. So whether the pressure switch could be acting up, I don't know. So I think the first step would be to do a descaling job to try and remove any deposits. If that doesn't work, then maybe strip the pump down and have a look at the pressure switch. There, can you just hear that? So like I say, it comes on. Well, it's down to about every 10 minutes now, so it is getting worse. It's a bit of a head scratcher. We'll find it eventually, one way or another. It's a trial and error. I've got the descaling solution. This is called Kilrock, but there are others available. What I'm going to do is fill a watering can. That's a 10 litre. Okay, so I'm going to put 15 litres in total. So I'm going to put in 500 millilitres. So that's half of this 1 litre bottle. Okay, as a diluted solution into the freshwater system. And then switch on the hot water tap to get that solution into the hot water heating unit, and that's where the work will be done, descaling that unit. So let's go step by step. Right, I'm gonna add half of this bit of gas work. It's a quarter. The watering can is full. This is 10 litres, so I'm going to add 15 in total, so I'm going to add 1.5 of these into the freshwater tank. Alright, so this is the diluted descaling solution. So I'm just adding another 5 litres. Okay, so we've got 15 litres in the freshwater tank, so we're going to go into the van now. Right, so we need to get the solution of Kilrock into the hot water heater. So I'm going to switch on the pump and put this to the hot water, and we're going to wait until we've got water through the tank and it's just starting to come out the tap. As soon as that happens, I'm going to close the tap. We've got solution in the hot water line. Okay. Okay, so the pump is now stopped. We'll have the hot water heater, which is down here, full of Kilrock solution to do its work of getting rid of the lime scale, hopefully. So hopefully that will get rid of any lack of pressure and stop the pump coming on intermittently. So let's see how that goes. Yeah. Right, just a note, Kilrock is basically a citric acid, so it's not really toxic, which is great to put in the freshwater system. So once it's flushed out, you may get a taste of lemons or something like that, but we don't drink it anyway. But basically, once it goes into the grey waste, then it can easily be disposed of. So it's quite harmless and it's biodegradable. The descaling solution has been in the tank now, hot water tank, for around about 4 hours. So I think it's time to drain it out, then fill it up with fresh water, and to round about half a tank, and then flush that out. What I'm going to do to make life easier is connect the collapse drainage pipes to the wastewater tank and then let that drain into one of our drains to dilute the solution.
You look a bit wet, Tony.
Hey? Yeah, it splashed, it got me. Yeah, I had a bit of an accident there. A bit of a fight with the hose pipe. Anyway, so I'm going to fill the freshwater tank with around about 40 odd litres, 40 or 50 litres, and then flush the whole system. And that should get rid of all the limescale solution. And hopefully try the pump.
Yes, and let's keep fingers crossed it's okay.
Yeah, we shall see. Right, well, unfortunately, the descaling didn't work. The pump is still coming on every 10 or 15 minutes for a second or so. So there's still something amiss. Right, so the next step is I've ordered this whale service kit, okay, which is basically the bottom of the pump. So the motor section fits on here, and inside here are all the little one-way valves, etc. So we think possibly one of the valves inside here may have got damaged and you're getting backflow. It's just a theory, but I'm hoping that's going to work. So what we need to do is remove the pump from its location, which is under our seat here. As you can see, I've drained all the water, so there's no water in the system, or very little. There might be a bit of water when we take all the pipes off, but that should just be residual. First thing, we're going to separate the pump from this white item here, a surge damper. Right, so I need to disconnect the filter from the pump. So I'm pushing that down and pulling the pipe out like that. So this pipe goes directly to the freshwater tank. Disconnecting the electrical connector to the pump. So you push down on the clip and pull out. There's a tie wrap, so I need to undo the tie wrap. I need to separate the pump. So the surge suppressor. There's a bit of water come out, which is understandable. So now there's just 4 screws holding the feet in position. 2. 3. I'm going to take it inside, put it in a bowl, so any more water will just go into the bowl. The next stage is to dismantle the pump itself. Take the filter off, so push that in and pull the filter off. So last week, this is what I cleaned out. As you can see, that's pretty clean. So I have cleaned that out. I'll put that back like that and just twist round until it locks in position. Okay, next is take the feet off. Four screws underneath the rubber feet, which we need to undo. Okay, so we just need to lift this off. There we go. That's the old one. So we've got the pressure switch here and the micro switch. Oops. And then that's the water pressure diaphragm. So it could be that this is weakened. That's the pressure switch. So you can hear the micro switch. So that's fine. So that's working okay. So we get our new pump. All right. And just jiggle it back in position. Jiggle it until it pops. There, so that's clicked in. Yeah, so I'm happy with that. And then I can put the feet back on. Like so. Hopefully we've got a nice seal in there. Rubber feet go back on. While it's in this position, I'll just pop the filter. There. That's nice and solid. Okay, let's go back to the van and connect it all up. Okay, we're back in the van and we're going to put all the pipe work back in position. Okay, there. So that's locked in position. Goes in next and push until it clicks. You can hear it click and then make sure it's in position. If you can't pull it back out, it's in position. Screw it down. Just finished screwing the pump back in situ. Connect it back up, make sure you can't pull it out. I'll put the little foam stabilizer to stop the surge filter wobbling about. Right, so all the pipes are connected. The electrical connection is connected. Close the water heater, and we're now ready to add some water into the system. I'm just going to try the pump before we put any water in. You can run these dry for a short while. Yeah, that's pumping. Right, well, I've put water in and we're purging the system. So the pump is working. So we've got hot water. Hot water and the cold water system is purged. Make sure that that's purged, hot water, cold water. So we've purged all the air out of the system. Pump is working, but the proof of the pudding will be, is it going to blip? Is it going to activate after 10 or 15 minutes, because that's what it was doing before. So I'm hoping that it doesn't blip. So we're just going to sit here and just wait. It used to come on every 10 minutes or so. So we're going to give it a good half an hour, and fingers crossed we don't hear the pump activating. There it goes. The good news is it's just over half an hour and we haven't heard the pump running, so I think we fixed it. Yeah, anyway, we're on a trip next week, so that will give it a good test, won't it? So thumbs up to the fix. So if you've got an intermittent pump running and you've checked all your pipe work and you're 99.9% sure that you haven't got a water leak, then try this fix. Order that kit from Whale and fit it. It worked for us, so I'm pleased about that. Bye for now.